I am unboxing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Armored Red Ranger Bandai Figuarts. Here's the back of the box. Very cool. I'm very excited about this figure. I was always, and have always been, a big fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Rockin' guitar, right? I've been a fan of them since I was a young boy. Back then, my favorite was the Black Ranger, but unfortunately, today's unboxing is for the Armored Red Ranger. This retails for about $40 to $50 unless you pre-ordered him on some importation website in which you could get a nice discount. Speaking of nice discounts, I'm opening him up and he will be discounted from the box. Here's the box without him in it, nothing really spectacular. And here he is with all his accessories and all his arms and weapons. So, like any good collectible, it comes with two pieces of plastic so that you can easily remove him. Oh, and lose the weapons. He comes with a dragon dagger, a blaster, and a powerful sword. And 4 sets of extra hands. Now out of the case and the box, I just want to note that he is kind of small. These Figuarts are not as big as, let's say, a DC Collectibles. And he is a bit smaller than the Star Wars Black Series. So he is on a scale of his own. Because there are two schools of thoughts with these figures. It's that some people want their statues and some people want their figures. So speaking of figures over statues, let's talk about articulation. Arm rotates but is hindered by his armor. Bend at the elbow, double bend, which is very cool. And he has extra movement at the shoulder. But again, it is hindered by the armor. Hand rotation. And complete arm rotation. He has an ab crunch, but it doesn't really do much. It's more just a rotation. Again, hindered by his armor. His head goes completely around and it looks up and down that much. He rotates at the waist completely. Now let's do leg. The knee, double bend. The foot, bend, complete rotation. And at the toe, there is a bend up. And of course, at the hip, moves out and up, but I do not think it rotates. And to take off his hand, you just pop it out. Sorry I hit the camera. This is a little shaky action. And you just pop the new one right back in. And he's ready to hold the Dragon Dagger. Now let's just go into the details, and for this I'm showing you guys what I think are the two most detailed parts of this figure, which are the helmet and the armor. The paint job, personally, I think the best part is the helmet. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous, and honestly, if you got like a close-up with some nice blurring of the background, one could confuse it for an actual Ranger. Now I want you to see on the chest there is a bit of a paint flaw or crafting error in the middle, but other than that I am not seeing many flaws with this figure. Look at the belt, the detail in there is absolutely gorgeous. This figure is definitely one to pick up if you have the money. And speaking of that, I know myself, I would not pick these up a year ago because I know that this scale is small and they retail for about $30 to $50. And for that, you're dropping a lot of cash on something very small. But hey, let me tell you this, size doesn't matter, because this guy comes with so much. He comes with 5 sets of hands, 3 weapons, great articulation, and let me tell you this, he doesn't take up that much space, which a lot of times with these Hot Toys and statues, you're scrambling to find room to store your figures. Plus, you can pose them in so many positions and do some really cool stop motion if that's your thing, or figure photography if that's your thing. Let's look at the detail of the accessories as thought. The dragon dagger is absolutely beautiful. I am not seeing any signs of paint missing spots or whatnot. And the power sword, again, is great. Last but not least, the blaster. Very cool, very small. Here's my best attempt at recreating the pose from the box. I think I did a pretty cool job. And it looks quite like the box picture. If I could have one critique for this figure, it would be the belt. Not the detailing, that's really cool, but it's not attached, so it just kind of hangs. And the holsters rotate and are made of a cheaper type of plastic. And for me, they really stick out. Both in terms of quality of plastic and just not hanging as a natural holster would. But check out the details on the boots. This thing is a piece of art. And it's definitely a figure that I'm not going to let sit in a box. I'm going to let this guy breathe. I'm going to pose him. I'm going to post pictures. This figure is awesome. As a big Power Ranger fan, I'm glad to have an armored Red Ranger. I know that there is a non-armored version that's slightly different, and that this is kind of a repaint of the Green Ranger with a different head, but it's sick. It's a pinnacle moment from the Power Rangers canon, and now I own it in figure form. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I really appreciate you watching it. And if you enjoyed this review, check out my review for something totally different. Marvel Select Venom, another one of my favorite figures that I picked up in 2015. Thank you guys for watching!